it uploaded?
Yeah, I got it.
Perfect. Okay. All right. If you get toasty, Michelle. All right, ready?
Yep.
Okay, read.
Okay, just to start off, my project was called Clean Off to Clean Up. Kind of in the shower, you're cleaning off to clean up the environment. Okay, so what happened? Well, unfortunately, the device did not work as well as I wanted. It was not able to generate the power anywhere close to the actual requirement that's needed to charge a phone. But while that may seem like a failure, it really isn't, because as I will mention later, I built another prototype. I actually have two now, with a third on the way. The first prototype was much larger and slower. It barely worked to generate anything. And my project adjusts to this changing material needs and design innovation. It is a series of devices, not just one. And they were designed to change the way that we do something every day and help us to clean off after a hard day at work while cleaning up the environment. These are just some of the goals I wanted to set up in the beginning. I'm happy to say that I achieved 4/5 of my goals. While I have not achieved my 5th goal, I believe in a short time I can then achieve it. Okay, so what is it? For those who don't know what my project is, my project was on the basis of helping the environment. I wanted to use my mechanical engineering skills to build a simple device that would cut energy bills and coal consumption. My goals were set out to just put that in place. Okay, so this is my second prototype. This is my first one in prototype. And that second prototype, it may look complicated, but don't worry, it's not that complicated. I don't want to go too far into the mechanics, but in this design, I wanted to reduce energy loss and work on something that'll generate power with the least amount of resistance. Okay, so these are some of the just some of the raw costs of the materials. This means that all these costs are what I paid for to buy it new. But for many people, they have a lot of these things lying around the house. For instance, many people have gum containers or duct tape lying around. That takes $26 off of it, now making it a $62 device. A little expensive, but you may also have some wire laying around in a toolkit, and shaving the price down to $57. But the big difficulty in cost here is the turbine itself at $35. But the thing is that you don't need it new. You just need to find it off of a computer, in a junk store, anywhere. Okay, so these are the two prototypes I wrote up. And, well, yeah, I actually have 3 prototypes, 2 of which are actually built, and the third one is proposed. But as of now, all the prototypes that I've worked on have the same sort of design. And as I've drawn up some of the early designs, they have most of the same design, as in a tube shaped with a turbine turning a motor. These are just some of the early design that I was working on. This is a cross section of that. The other one, yeah, that one. That's a cross section. And that's what the other little one looks like. And this is my proposed design for prototype 3. As you can see, it has a lot more gearing systems. And that was one of the major problems in my most recent prototypes, because it wasn't turning the motor fast enough to generate enough power. Okay, so right here, there are just some of the several differences between the 2 prototypes. It's pretty obvious to see which one's better, which is prototype 2. But I think that as the designs keep reinventing themselves and getting better, they can become more energy efficient and smaller. Okay, just some of the 4 areas where my expectations were met or exceeded. But in the end, it wasn't really about me, it's about the earth itself. And what I attempted to have changed here is that I wanted to change the world itself. I'm not finished this device, but one day I feel like when I finish it, or finish that design 3, I'll be able to actually change the world in the way that I want it. Okay, so some of the improvements I could have worked on, I definitely could have improved the project in these 3 ways or more. Especially getting materials, this was one of my big ones. As the project was constantly reinventing itself, it was difficult to get all the materials at once. I ended up going to Shamshupo 3 times and One Try once in the last month. I learned to be more prepared for things and to make sure everything was planned out before I executed it. Freestyling is fine unless it's not too time consuming or useless. And before we watch the last video, I want you to take a look at this. It's amazing that all this coal and cash can be saved with just one device. And just how will this device help us in the future? As you saw, the cost of cell phones and coal is rising steadily, and the environment really needs to be addressed here. And by cutting out 5.5 million tons of kilograms of coal, you can really slice that. Do we have time for the final video?
You're at 6 minutes. Maybe show us about 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, they're about 30 seconds.
Okay.
Long. Yeah. Right now, what I've done is attached the device to the shower head. Right now, it's just attached with a rubber band, but that's just to hold it on top. And then the wire goes down, and we're going to attach it next. Right now, we're testing the amperage of the device. About 3 milliamps.